It's the day before Nether Edge Christmas market and I've got so much to sort to make sure that I'm ready for it. So come along with me and let's get ready for this blinking market, shall we? First up, I need to make sure that all of my stock boxes have got enough stock for Christmas. Now I did go through these. You'll have seen me in a previous video probably going through these, making sure I had enough stock. But I don't know whether I had Christmas fully in mind when I stocked those. So I've taken some more stock back from the Sheffield Makers shop in the Winter Gardens to put in my stock boxes, and I just want to make sure I've got enough Christmas cards and more than enough actually, like stocking fillers, like pin badges, my stationery stuff. Like, just really want to make sure that there is enough for people to buy. I don't care about it being heavy at this one. Christmas is where I make my money, so fingers crossed, because I need to make some money. The other week I went to a shop and got some cotton because I had the bright idea of sewing two of my tablecloths together, because this wastes a lot of time at a market trying to put one tablecloth on and the other tablecloth on top without it all ruffling up and you know, like what's the word, like pulling the other tablecloth. So I've got my tablecloths here and I'm going to sew them together. Fingers crossed for me that I managed to do it right on the right side. I think I know which one's right, but yeah, I'm going to do that now. That ended up not being as big a job as I thought it was going to be. So for the rest of the day, all I need to do is pack the van, do a hand-delivered order, have a shower because I stink. And then I've got something that I'd like to try. I'd like to try hand painting wrapping paper for tomorrow, but I don't want to stress out and, you know, lose my mind, because I'd rather get everything in the van for tomorrow and then think about it. But Andy's away climbing at the moment, just for the day, but hopefully he'll come back soon because he's got the van, so I can't pack the van up until he's back. I might send him a text. And yeah, if you can think of anything I've forgotten, let me know now. Now's the time, guys. Just heading out to deliver the package. So I have cut 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 pieces which measure 70 centimetres by 50 centimetres, which is a standard wrapping paper size when you're buying sheets anyway. And what I'm thinking at the moment is getting some white gouache and painting, you know, like if you watched the last video, you'll have seen the painting of the baubles. In the backgrounds I do stars and snowflakes, and I thought maybe I'd just do some very simple painting of those, but I don't know if I've got time to do that, let it dry and do the van and all that kind of stuff. So really this is the 11th hour preparations, which is no good, guys. But it's all fun and games. If you can't do this at Christmas, when can you do it? So let's just get painting and see how far we go. If we don't have time to do it for this market, I can sell them at the next market if they're any good. So yes, let's just get the paints out and try this thing. Good morning. Day of the market. So last night it was high winds and rain, so my worst fear for a market. But today we've woken up. Granted, it's not blue skies. It's not raining. It's not windy. Maybe overlapping. It's not quite dragging at that end of it. Finally set up. Once again on this market we arrived and someone was parked in our spot, so that was a bit stressful and ridiculous, but it's worked in our favour because we're right beside, I don't know if you can see behind, right beside the choir singing. It's very festive. I'm just bending down to give you an update. Market's going really well, super busy. I don't really have a lot of time to talk because there are people coming to the stall, but I just wanted to come in and say hello. So I'm back in, had a shower. Good old Andy's still bringing a few things in from the van. But before I sign off this video, I want to do 3 take-home tips for running your own market stall. Now, if you want my top tips for running a market stall, I do have specific videos with more tips in them, and I'll link those in the description. But here are 3 tips that I've thought of from the last couple of markets that I've done. So the first one is get yourself a good market grade gazebo. Now, I've said it before that you could probably you know, use a garden one or whatnot. But a market grade gazebo is definitely worth the investment. And I know when you're first starting out, or even when you're not first starting out, you look at the price of these things and you think, whew, what? I think mine was about £250, I think, and it was a massive investment. But they are stronger than garden gazebos and the flimsy ones, you know, the kind that you'd put in your garden, you know? So mine's a steel market 3x3 metre market stall gazebo. Now, all the markets that I've done offer pitches that are 3 metres by 3 metres. So by getting a 3 metre square gazebo, you are maximising the space offered to you. But do check what markets in your area offer, because there's no point getting a big one if they only offer you 1.5 metres squared. But that would be my first tip. Get a market grade gazebo. I'm not sponsored, but if you want to know where I get mine from, I'll pop the links and the details for that down in the description. I'm not sponsored, and there are other shops out there, but you know, it might be a good place for you to start. And my second tip is to get really, really good, robust gazebo weights. Now, up until this market, I have been putting up with some cheap ones that I found on the internet shop that will not be named, Amazon, which I don't shop with anymore. But I got some that they've got the fabric and they're a zip construction on the top, and you either fill them with sand or pebbles. And they've been fine, but they're not the strongest that you can have. So I have experienced such strong winds that my gazebo has moved, and the gazebo weights haven't really done much to stop it. And also the zips are breaking on mine now, and granted I've used them for a few years, but I filled mine with pebbles and the pebbles are coming out. If I'd filled them with sand, I would have lost the sand already. So I've recently got some that are water container ones. I'll pop a video here of the ones that I've got so you can see what I'm talking about. There are other types that you can get, like metal feet that slot onto the edge of your gazebo legs. But something that has a considerable amount of weight in them is worth investing in. Again, I'll pop the links to where I got my weights in the description. I'm not sponsored. It's just might be a good place for you to start looking. One thing to bear in mind with the weights is make sure that whichever weights you get, they don't obstruct the fastening of your gazebo wall to your leg. So often gazebo walls will fasten to your gazebo legs with Velcro, and sometimes gazebo weights can get in the way of the bottom Velcro strap. So yeah, just something to bear in mind. And my third tip is, it's about your display. So when you do regular markets, you might have your display basically down to a fine art, but give yourself some flexibility. So for instance, the last kind of year or so, the markets that I've done have had my art on pin boards. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll have seen that. So I've got some yellow, not pin boards, peg boards, and I put my art on there, secured with yellow elastic. And then I've got that's where I put my display art, and then I've got my art out back. But for this market, because it was a Christmas market and I needed to optimize like as much space as possible, and I had new products as well. So this year I used my pegboards for the hand painted baubles that I did. If you want to see the videos all about my hand painted baubles, they're in the video description too. So I needed the pegboards for a different product. So this year I put my display art in a browser for people to look through, which is something that I stopped doing, but you don't need to die on that hill. Just have something that you can be flexible with. Then if you do have a market where, for instance, if it's Christmas market and you've got a bunch of new Christmas products, you want to make sure that you're not squishing everything onto your table. So give yourself some flexibility in either flexibility in how you display things, or flexibility in the stock that you put out, because there was a bunch of stock that I just didn't have room for today, so I just left it in the boxes. So be easy on yourself, be kind to yourself regarding your market displays. And that, my chums, is where I'm going to leave this video, because we're going to get a curry. God damn it, we have earned it today. So until next week, bye.